Tai Chi is kind of like a flower. Merpati Putih is kind of like a tiger covered in flowers. 25 years ago, it was very difficult to get somebody to believe in what now is becoming more and more commonplace. Just like there are, for one example, something else, let's say cannabis dispensaries. I don't usually talk about the subject, but now so many states allow medical cannabis because, oh, wow, the whole time we were wrong and there is medicinal value and it can help with this, and this thing, these other things we don't know, but it's as harmless as you're going to ever find for anything you take for conditions. Okay, so what I'm talking about, though, is a paradigm shift. And that's really what's happening when it comes to energy work and meditation right now, worldwide. Unfortunately, there are a lot of people out there that don't have any facts to back it up. They're like, just believe me. I talk to this spirit and they come through me and I've got nothing to prove it. And that's one thing that's very unique about Vibravision is we are under the microscope and we are proving it. We have proven it. Every single person who has gone through has proven it to themselves. So we just kind of have a ridiculous amount of proof that it works, but it's not just seeing without your eyes. And that's what a lot of people don't really understand. Because blind doesn't mean blind, like your eyes. Blind means you're not able to see something. In that regard, every single person is blind. And it really is our mission to help people awaken these senses so they can start being more of the multisensory human being that we're all capable of being and getting out of our own way and into a state of flow, a state of perception, and really a state of grace. If we can do that, our mission is to help 1 billion people do that.
Vibravision seems very beneficial, and I'm sure as it grows, there's going to be some pushback from like the pharmaceutical companies or more of the mainstream medical facilities because they're going to probably be losing out. So, and also, how far do you think the limit is with Vibravision? Like, how far could like the human potential go? If you talk about like sci-fi, like superhero and stuff, do you think it could actually expand to much more than what you guys or anyone at this time is currently capable of?
Okay, yes, I think that larger groups of people are going to be able to do amazing things for sure. I also see that it is very difficult for the future to see people gaining and using higher and higher abilities than the people who have been, for thousands of years, having that discipline to live in a cave or monastery and meditate all day, every single day. Well, if you're meditating for 15 minutes a day and you're stressed out working and blah, 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 the rest of your time, you're never going to attain the abilities or the level of realization, really, of, say, a Taoist monk that lives in a cave for 5 years and out-of-body journeys every single day, all day, and hires somebody to take care of their body while they're gone. I mean, there are big examples of people who really go to a place that is not reasonable for the average busy person living a real, a life that we live. And so I think that we're now at the 100 monkeys effect kind of thing, where it's going to be a critical mass. Enough people are starting to learn about their own energy awareness, and especially with Vibravision, our immersion event that we just finished last week, we had, for the first time ever, only one time it's going to happen, we trained our 100th participant in our immersions. Wow. So now we do have that 100 monkeys, we've got that thing. So we're really excited to see where these abilities start to spring up in other parts of the world as people get these downloads from the quantum, from source, and it starts being able to affect them in those other areas. Kind of like when two things were invented by two different people or discovered on different parts of the earth and they had no communication. And that's happened numerous times in history. And it's because all things are energy.
Yeah, it's quite incredible. So, could you speak a little bit more about your journey with martial arts and all of that, if you don't mind? Because I find that quite interesting.
Yeah. So when I was little, I watched a lot of Jedi and ninja movies, and I really wanted to be one. And so did my brother. And we lived in a very small town in rural Utah, where there were no martial arts schools. So when I was 17, I enrolled in a martial arts school because I had a driver's license and I now had a job, and I could start doing the martial arts training. And a couple of weeks later, my younger brother Mike, he joined the same dojo. But see, I had college and different things that got in the way of my martial arts training. So I was very sporadic and kind of in and out of the arts. He, on the other hand, flat out lived at the dojo. Like he would spend 4 or 5 nights a week at the dojo. And he would just train and train. He would go to school, come back and train, go to school, come back and train. It was, that's the reason he was able to earn numerous black belts, is because he made it a complete lifestyle. So he kept teaching, and then we came across Merpati Putih and Vibravision, and he really didn't want to have anything to do with it.
Why is that?
As far as teaching, he's like, because he was so burned out from teaching martial arts for so long that he's like, I don't want to teach martial arts anymore. It's hard, especially also the instructor that he was training under would not pay him, so everything was, thousands of private lessons for free, and he's like, I can't do it. But then he really, once he started learning the breath techniques of Merpati Putih, and same with me, we're just like, wow, we're going to do this till the day we die. This is the most amazing stuff right here. We have to tell everybody this has got to be done.
How similar is Merpati Putih to Tai Chi? Because I know Tai Chi uses a lot of breath work and things as well.
So the similarity of Tai Chi is kind of like, okay, I'm going to use a metaphor here. Tai Chi is kind of like a flower. Merpati Putih is kind of like a tiger covered in flowers. So it's very hard training. I cannot, with the full Merpati Putih martial arts system, there is no comparison to any other martial art on the planet. And I can say that in full confidence. Any other martial art that requires, say, a 19-mile run barefoot over lava rock as just part of your test, it's pretty extreme. So Tai Chi, a lot of people are very familiar with their Tai Chi and moving their energy in the body. It's wonderful. I love it. Keep doing it. But then that takes forever, like forever, to develop a lot of Chi. Merpati Putih and Vibravision techniques are very intense, and they create a massive amount of energy in the body in a very short amount of time, but you've got to work for it. You can't come in and half-ass it. If you're not going to do it, it's not going to work, and you're just going to suffer. But people who come in and they're like, I'm ready to go. This is going to be awesome, and I'm giving everything I've got. And then they're just like, think, and breaking files with their finger. I'm like, I'm steel file. Like, all right. So you get what you put in. You get out what you put into it. But the neat thing about both of them is they both, Tai Chi and Merpati Putih, they both teach people how to become more aware of their energy and of their potential as a human being. And so in that regard, they are exactly the same. It's just on the outside, like everything else is different.
So say if one had to go into Merpati Putih and try to learn all the disciplines, how long would that take for an average person? Say someone who has no background in martial arts and someone who has a relative understanding of martial arts.
Mm-hmm.
How long would it take?
That's a good question. So in Merpati Putih, there are levels, certain levels, just like you would find in any martial art, right? You've got white, yellow, orange, purple, blue, green, brown, red, and black belts and different systems like that. With our system, everyone wears a red belt. This signifies our oneness of all humans and all things. We're all the same. We just have a different stripe on our belt showing how far along the path we are. So yes, all 5 disciplines is going to take quite a a long time. Okay, but everyone moves at the same pace. Like a class starts, let's say you're in a class of 40 people. You're in a class, you graduate and test with your class 6 months later. Everybody together. You don't go early, you don't go late, you go with your class. So that said, the first 4 levels will take 2 years. And after that, in our 5th level, which is a special rank that the 11th generation heirs allowed us to do, it's kind of the apprenticeship rank, and that can last a year or 2. And then you come to the 5th, what is in Indonesia, the 5th level. For us, it's the 6th. And that's where you'd start learning all 5 of the different aspects. So levels 1 through 5, or level 1 through 4, we're focused on the energy generation, for more power in our body, the breaking and the fighting, and the movement. But when it comes down to the energy healing, no, that's a trainer. You have to be a trainer to learn those things. Vibravision, it's senior trainer rank. Now, what we're doing that's so unique is we're allowing people who have not gone through, let's say an average person would take 5 years to get to the rank, but they would start learning Vibravision. That's 5 years training diligently in the hardest martial art imaginable before you'd ever learn anything. But my brother and I, when we first started this, it was always about helping blind people and helping mind people like you and I. And so a couple of years ago, we decided we were going to make a change to the way things are done with the traditional structure of ranking and having to walk through the pits of hell to learn anything about Vibravision. And we decided we were going to start offering immersion programs where people can come in from all over the country and right away start learning Vibravision. And it is like, this is, we're taking the fast track. It is truly a cheat code for your mind and for your highest abilities. It is the hack. It's a hack. It's a life hack where instead of decades, now it's days.
Wow.
And so, yeah, that's something. And so like in Indonesia, they still don't train non-Indonesian people. It's still forbidden.
It's similar to in Japan with the traditional ninjutsu. I know for a long time, they didn't allow outsiders to learn it. And is it still like that today?
As far as ninjutsu, no.
No,
I don't know. I don't know much about ninjutsu, but as far as with Merpati Putih, yes, definitely.
Yeah, because I know Bruce Lee got a lot of pushback when he came to America and started teaching Hollywood how to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've had numerous death threats against us. But the thing is when people are really that angry and that self-centered that they don't see that this is for the greater good of humanity, and they start with threats and things like that, and then we just say, okay, please ask the 11th generation royal heirs, the heads of the entire system, because they're the ones who said it's okay and gave us not just their blessing, but their love with this. The death threats usually stop right then because they're like, oh, okay, it's people being very hyper defensive, not knowing who we had permission from to do this. And so, we have
right, because it is for like the better good. And when people want to get like violent, like, because the whole aspect of learning it is to better yourself and better people. So like preventing people from learning it, like I find quite strange.
Some people are strange. That's all I can say. Some people are strange. I don't know.
Catch full episodes of Enter the Muse on Spotify, Anchor FM, and Apple Podcasts. Enter the Muse on Spotify, Anchor FM,